video. Got to jump into some bite down boxing. I've been making a statement, kind of prefacing the boxing, any boxing talk with, there's only a handful of fights at this point for me. There's only really a handful of fights or matchups that I'm kind of interested in. Um, I don't even hate where boxing is going necessarily, but it's just where I am with my level of attention to the game. But this card right here, I've been waiting for this fight, the main event with Claressa Shields, the unified middleweight champion, and the WBO champion Savannah Marshall. What I say, man? I didn't say nothing. Um, what's good with you, man? Look, man, I like analysis. I really don't care to watch. I really don't care to listen to people talk about or a fan of one person just tell me how their fighter is going to destroy the other fighter that they don't respect. That's pretty boring to me. That's pretty low level to me. That's not what I rock with. So I'm just giving you my opinion of what to watch for in these two matchups. So I'll start with Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner, and I'm gonna try to keep this very simple. I think Mayer is I think Al Mitchell has schooled her pretty well. She kind of uses her. She is a taller female, decent length on her, compared to most of her opponents, and I think she has a pretty sound offensive game, and attacks pretty well. She usually coming forward, putting pressure on her opponent, and she kind of she throws her combinations and works in a very disciplined manner. Um, the only thing is, I think she tried to open things up a little bit against Hamadouche. I believe was the IBF champion that she defeated to become a unified champion. I think she was trying to put on a show that night and make a statement, and she got cracked a couple of times in doing that. And I think Hamadouche kind of landed the punches out of desperation, or it was kind of offense out of defense, and she stood Mayer up like two times maybe, but Mayer weathered those shots, and it really didn't change how she was fighting, in my opinion. So I'm expecting the same thing from her. I sent this to all three women. Uh-oh. You mean a link to the video or something? I don't want no smoke with none of them women, man. Alicia Baumgardner. Alicia is solid. She made a big statement in taking out Terry Harper, who was undefeated at that point in time. She basically short-circuited Harper on her feet, got the knockout. Great moment. She went down in weight and took her on. You can see that she is very comfortable against everything that Harper was doing. Harper was pretty predictable. And Alicia felt very comfortable from the beginning, had her guard down low, was kind of luring in Harper. Harper did the same thing a few different times. She got timed by Alicia, who snuck the right hand in there and short-circuited her and got the fight over. That's not the way that Mayer is going to attack her. Like Mitchell said, if she works behind her jab, throws her punches in the combinations that he drills her on and how he wants her to attack, then they'll adjust from there if that's not successful. So what I'm saying with Baumgardner, back in 2018, she had a split decision that she won against a fighter named Kirsty Simmons. Simmons was southpaw. The fight took place in Louisville. I sat there ringside that fight, and even Claressa said this, and this is what Mayer is saying. Alicia wants to land the right hand, and she wants to hurt her opponent. She wants to get the knockout. But when that opening is not there, when she doesn't clearly see what she saw against Terry Harper, she does wait. she will wait and wait and wait. She doesn't quickly adjust and accept, well, I'm just gonna take what I can take. I'm gonna box with this person. I'm gonna create my opening. I'm gonna fill up the minutes. She doesn't necessarily do that. And that's what I'm watching to see how she responds. Maybe she sees something in maybe she sees something. One thing about Marshall is she doesn't look like a southpaw. Her style is. I agree. I completely agree. I'm about to get to that too because I'm about to move on. So maybe Baumgardner sees a weakness, or you know, maybe she can time Mayer. I don't think that's gonna happen. At least not very early in the fight. You know, maybe after the 6th round, 7th round, something like that. So my question for Alicia, will you just start to jab and box? Will you just start to jab and build things or add things onto the jab and just score with you know, just punch with Mayer? Is she willing to do that? If she sits there and continues to wait for that opening for the big shot, she could have some problems. And I think that's what the southpaw that I just mentioned, Kirsty Simmons, that fight ended up being a split decision. Could have been a draw. Because Alicia was frustrated. You can see that she was a little confused with Simmons. She couldn't speed Simmons up. Simmons didn't go out and really attack, except that's a harder fight. Mayer is skilled. Exactly. And work from I agree. So now I think that's just gonna be a very intriguing fight. But Baumgardner, I think she's gonna have to do more than just land the right hand. You know, she might have to get into some combinations. She might have to score with the jab. She might have to set some things up with the jab. But like I said, I think a pretty skilled offense is gonna be coming her way, and she'll have to do a couple of things. It's a close fight. Let me get to this Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall matchup. My take on this, I think the onus for me is that the onus is going to be on Savannah Marshall to show me that she can actually box, punch, and score with Shields. I think Shields is one of the better, if not maybe the best defensive fighter amongst the women. I think she's also pretty creative offensively. She may not have the power that people continue to knock her for, but I think she hits hard enough to where eventually opponents stop trying. But Shields cannot convince me that Ivana Habazin was a good fighter. Shields cannot convince me that Marie Evdecaire was a good fighter. She was not a good fighter. And Habazin had very much to offer after the halfway through the first round, or definitely into the second round. Habazin had nothing to offer us. So I can't take a whole lot away from those fights and somehow determine that Shields is just untouchable. Those women just are not impressive to me. We found out that now she made Christina Hammer look very bad. Shields gonna have bread and butter with the counter on the inside. Just don't get smothered. Agree. You know all of this stuff, man. You know all of this as well as I do. So it's just my question for Shields is she going to have an adequate volume? Or will she have the right mix of coming forward and boxing, attacking, and counterpunching? If she's just going to sit here and try to counterpunch like she's going to hurt Savannah with 1 or 2 shots and get her out of there, I don't think I think that's going to be a boring fight. She might be able to win that way, but I think that could be a boring fight. She did the counter-punching thing and had a really low output against Marie Evdecaire, and I kind of took that as the fact that Decaire was wild as hell. She was just rushing in, elbows flying, head first. Get out of there clean. So I think that's why she fought that in that manner in that fight. Here, like I said, I think if she comes forward a lot and then mixes in the counter punching to change it up, she should win the fight. If Marshall can come out, I just, wasn't she into some of her MMA training at that point? maybe she was a little between the two different disciplines. I don't know, but I thought she fought. I thought she tailored her fight to the person that was in front of her. I can't knock her for that. And she won all 10 rounds. So Marshall, I'm going to know very early if Marshall, the pace that she works at, kind of being off speed or off beat a little bit, some of the style that she has to her attack. She's kind of just fought a lot of these girls to just kind of set up her power. You thought Hammer was? I wasn't impressed with Hammer at all. And maybe some of it was bad nerves. I can't say that Hammer was terrible, though, because she did her thing against Tori Nelson. That's a common opponent that she had was with Claressa. And she didn't look horrible against her. So, I don't know. I think Hammer got rocked early. Oh, okay. Oh, got you. I'm with you. I'm with you there. Yeah, Marshall, I'm going to know very early in the first round, can she fight the way that she fights, that we've seen her fight? Can that stuff work? Like I said, Claressa, defensively, I think she's very relaxed. I think she processes everything very well. She sees what's coming at her. She takes different little chances here and there. She knows how to fight. She just knows how to fight better than these opponents that she's had. And so I'm just questioning, can Marshall do what she's done against these other opponents and score, and score. Sometimes you just need to land 2 or 3 more punches than the opponent. It's not about knocking somebody out or necessarily beating a person up. Can you just sit there and punch with them? Can you jab with them? Going to win, she's the goal for me. I'm not knocking Claressa. I don't dislike Claressa. I just want her output to be right. If Marshall is throwing a lot of punches, I'm hoping that Claressa is meeting that level. Now if she's able to make her miss and make her pay, then so be it. And then lastly with Marshall, it's just if she is outclassed getting through the first 4 to 5 rounds, are we sitting around the rest of the fight waiting for if there's going to be a moment where Marshall just takes a risk? She has to do something out of desperation. I'm not so sold that she's, after just watching Discern and Cedarus, which I think Marshall is way better than Cedarus. I respect content creators. Oh yeah, no problem. I like I said, all of this stuff, man. All of this stuff. Yeah, that's all. Just with Marshall, are we sitting here? Because she did say I'm gonna take her into deep water. And Natasha Jonas asked this question or posed this thought. Could we get to a point where it's in the 7th or 8th round and Claressa Shields is up 6 or 7 rounds to 1 or no rounds for Marshall, but Marshall lands something big? I don't really see Claressa Shields. Oh, and that's another thing. That's another feather in Claressa Shields' cap. Claressa is a hell of a competitor. I can't understate or undervalue competitiveness in boxing. When people when a fighter refuses to lose rounds or a fighter refuses to lose consecutive rounds, that's a hell of an attribute for a fighter. Like, I sit around and watch, I've watched Adrian Broner sit and lose 3 and 4 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row against a Mikey Garcia. That really changed my thinking on Adrian Broner. I don't see Claressa Shields accepting losing 2 rounds. I think she's that competitive. I think the fact that she went over to the MMA game, while she may not be great in MMA, by accepting that challenge, that spoke to her level of competition. Yeah, Claressa Shields, she's a fighter through and through. Coming from her background, making it out of Flint, like, this is what she is. This is what she does. This is how she eats. This is how she earns her money. a fighter. So she will not. You will have to compete with her. And I don't know if I don't know if I see Marshall and a lot of the UK people, a lot of the UK fighters. That's always the question: are they competitive enough? Do they have that type of will? That's what we ask about Anthony Joshua. That's the question that we have typically here in the States. That's what we ask about some of these UK fighters. So I just want to know, where's Marshall going to be 5th, 6th round? Is it going to be 4-2? Could it be 3-3? Is it 6-0? Is it 7-0? What's the where are we going to be in the fight? And are we just sitting around wondering if she's ever going to land a significant shot? Hopefully she's able to get some work done up front and make it a back and forth fight. To see that 3-0 lady, I think she's heavyweight. On the undercard, I don't think I saw any heavyweights up on the stage, but I wasn't really paying that close of attention. So that's it. That's all I really got for this one. I think it's gonna be a good night of fights. Hopefully the action in the co-main event doesn't outshine Dubois' sister, Caroline or something, Caroline Dubois, something they said. I was asking in the chat, which nobody said anything. I didn't think, I thought she was a little shorter. I didn't think she was a heavyweight, but I know her brother is obviously Daniel Dubois. I didn't think she was a heavyweight, but yeah. Lastly, just on some of the back and forth, for those of us that watched the press conference and you rocked with whatever your fighter said, whatever, none of that shit matters. Perkins, okay. Yeah, it's kind of sad that we haven't seen much from Perkins lately. Yeah, that's tough. I really wanted to see what she was gonna do, and I think Perkins is the type, she needs to be active because she seems to struggle with her motor, and for her to sit around, not fighting for an extended period of time, that's not gonna help improve her motor. But I think that's something that, I'd like to see her do more, because I thought she had some talent, but when you're not working, you're not getting better. Crazy. No comment. I don't have no comment on PPC, man. You say something, well, no comment. No comment. Oh yeah, so I thought, if you like, this is just commentary. I laugh at disrespect in boxing. Somebody's being disrespectful. A lot of times in boxing, you have to crack an egg to make an omelet. You might have to go wherever you go, or wherever you have to go at the right moment, the right stage, whether it's at somebody's fight, whether it's at the press fight, the post-fight press conference. You might have to go and make some noise and talk your shit to get the fight that you want to get. So I struggle with what disrespect means in boxing. So Claressa has been disrespectful at times. She's been respectful at times. I felt like she had to be respectful with Marie-Eve Dicaire, because you had to sell us that Dicaire was a worthy fighter, that it was something that we should care about. So she was more complimentary of her, and she was more complimentary of Marie-Eve Dicaire's record. 20 seconds into the fight with Marie-Eve Dicaire, it was like, oh shit, she's not really that good, and this is gonna be a long night. So I struggle when people complain about somebody being disrespectful. For my opinion, if I'm able to say something and get in an opponent's head and gain some kind of an advantage, then you say what you need to say. Yeah, the care was bad, man. That fight was nice, lady. I had a chance to be in the Zoom press conference that they did. I think I asked her a question or two. Nice lady. Not all that great of a fighter. Not a good fighter. Very brave, a lot of heart, went in there with the best in the business and went 10 rounds, but not a very capable fighter. Not a very capable fighter. Very nice person. So that's it, man. Let me get on out of here. I'm already 10 minutes more than what I really wanted to be. I hope we enjoy the fights this weekend. I hope it's a great moment for women's boxing. I hope it's an outstanding middleweight fight and the crowning of a undisputed champion. May the best woman win. Of course, I'm pulling for the United States. Get out of here. Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer. A lot of bandwagon trying to. Yeah, she's not there. She's not there. Like I said, Marshall has to show me some things. Now, not too many women can set up, the big punches, land the big shots, get the knockouts. Not a lot of women are able to do that. Definitely not one-punch knockouts. So the fact that regardless of who the competition has been and whatever, the fact that she's got it on film helps her. This bee is killing me right now. It helps her, but I can't put her on my pound for pound based off of that. Saturday, we get the answers that many of us have been looking for, and I'm excited to check it out. Baumgardner and to close out, Baumgardner and Mayer, good clash of styles. Yeah, I agree. Good clash of styles in the co-main event, and I'm looking forward to it. Look, I got to get out of here. I got to eat this lunch. Thanks for rocking with me and contributing to the questions. Modern King Boxing, I appreciate you. Let me get up out of here. Peace.